Right, another issue in relation to university. Too often, it happens far too often, we parents treat our sons and our daughters exactly the same, as if they were androgynous. Well, that's not the case. Let's think about this for a minute. Our sons, generally speaking, are going to go on to be married, and they'll be responsible for a wife and family and a household. Our sons need a little bit of extra encouragement and training to go a certain direction. It may include a university education, in particular if they have a calling toward the kind of career that one can only achieve by going the university route, to become a medical doctor, to become a lawyer, perhaps a surveyor, or other type of career, in which case they need to go through the university system. Most of our daughters, let's face it, are going to be, and we want them to be, happily married wives and good mothers. University education is not necessarily going to help them, especially if they get all the way through that. They're thinking, I need to become independent, get my own career set up, and then they're becoming career oriented, which is not helping them to becoming spouse oriented and family oriented and running a household. That's not necessarily helpful if they go out to become independent in that regard. So think that through carefully, and help your daughters to see that maybe a more domestically oriented type of training may be preferable, to certainly get those skills under the belt. I'm not saying, oh, we don't want our daughters to become highly educated. Of course we do. But who says the university is the only place where they can become highly educated? My goodness, I've had daughters grow up in my home who become highly educated by reading books or by putting themselves through night classes. I have daughters who can, you name it, pattern draft clothing, sew their own material, their own clothing, make all kinds of ballroom costumes, sand floors and polyurethane and stain floors, reupholster furniture, lay floor tiles, wall tiles, who are expert paper hangers and painters, daughters who have taught themselves these skills. Highland dancing, English country dancing, they're called upon internationally to go and call for these dances, simply because these are skills they taught themselves. Our daughters can teach themselves, our sons can too. Never think that university is the only place where you can get an education. That's just a con job that the universities have very well indoctrinated us to think that's the only place you can get a good education. It's just not true. Education is out there. It's basically for free. Anybody who's willing to go use the initiative to go get it. The more you use up education, it doesn't mean there's less around for other people. No, education is not in short supply. It's different than schooling. Schooling is in short supply because there's only so many schooling institutions, there's only so many teachers, there's only so many desks in each class, and they charge you so many dollars per desk to sit there. So schooling is in short supply. That's what you pay the big dollars for, the schooling. But you're not necessarily getting an education when you get the schooling. Please understand that. Education is there. It's there for almost for free. The public libraries are full of all the kind of books you'd ever want. The internet now is just loaded with more stuff than you can shake a stick at. It's there. It's there for free. You can get your own education, and just by following it up and pursuing it yourself, that's not a problem. And for our sons, the university is one way, but let's not forget the entrepreneurial skill. Set up your own business. You know, if you think about a good university education, we're usually looking at $10,000 or more to get a BA or a master's degree. Well, just think about the $10,000. Man, you could set yourself up in a nice little business for that and do quite nicely. Thank you very much. So never neglect the trade schools that our sons may think they want to decide to pursue a trade, a skill, or perhaps the entrepreneurial route. Never neglect those. And the university is just another option. It's not the only option. Never think in those terms. You've got lots of options out there. But the thing we're always after at the end of the day is an education, not schooling. We want the education, and that is pretty much free of charge, and it's there for anybody to get. Pursue it on your own. The qualification may take a little bit of extra, and But certainly if you have the education and you have the personal qualifications, you can demonstrate that to the prospective employer, or the prospective whoever it is you're trying to impress, with letters of reference, with a portfolio full of photographs of the kinds of things that you do, or just other kinds of testimonials. People understand written testimonials. They don't necessarily understand a piece of paper with some numbers on it, or a testimonial from some institution. What exactly does this mean? Well, if you can explain, this is what I can do, this is what I have done, have a portfolio or some written references, that'll go a long way.